Welcome to Spotlight on Lakewood. This year we're exploring many different facets of community health. An important part of community health is just being able to have simple sustenance. In Jefferson County, the issue of hunger can really go unnoticed. And today we're trying to get out in the community and really understand what hunger in our community looks like. Today I'm at the Action Center with Executive Director Meg Stripmatter to talk a little bit about what is happening in our community. Meg, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to thank you for being here.
Thank you for what you do. So share with us, how big of an issue is hunger in our community?
You know, hunger is one of those things people don't think about, especially when you're looking at a community like Lakewood within a county like Jefferson County. But hunger is a huge issue, especially when you consider that 1 in every 3 children in Jeffco Public Schools are on some form of free and reduced lunch. That says that there is some instability in the households in our communities that keep that on the forefront a big issue.
So 1 in 3 of our kiddos in Jefferson County Public Schools, how does that translate to Lakewood?
Well, I would say in Lakewood, we have some of the highest Title I schools. When you're looking at some of our community with Stein, Iber, Mulholm, those are schools that have a high percentage of poverty within the neighborhoods. And many of them come here for some type of support.
So, you know, the metro area has been real successful. We've seen a great boom. We've seen some gentrification of downtown. Have you seen that create an increase for needs in the city of Lakewood?
Absolutely. I would say absolutely, especially when you look at the price of housing. When you look at the inordinate amount that people have to pay for their housing, it keeps them from having additional resources left over to buy food and to keep that type of healthy food available for their families. So that's where hunger really becomes impacted by a trickle or domino effect of other issues.
So what you've seen is folks trying to choose between rent money or food.
Right, exactly. And you know, we need a place to stay. And we also need to have the sustenance in order to survive every day. And when we don't have that balance, you have a breakdown, and we see it in our community.
How many folks do you serve a year here?
We serve an unduplicated count of about 25,000 people with one or more of the needs that we have. And of that, about 14,000 are from our Lakewood residents.
14,000. And what is your motto? What do you try to do when you get somebody in here? What's the number one goal?
Well, it's our mission statement. We provide an immediate response to basic human needs and promote pathways to self-sufficiency. You can't begin with a conversation of self-sufficiency if you are hungry today, or you don't know where your meals are going to come from next week to feed yourself and your family. So first we do the stabilization around the basics: food, clothing, shelter. Then we have conversations about longer-term self-sufficiency and do with our case-managed work. But it starts with the basics. Yep. It really does. And food, we look at food as a lost leader, because if people come to us initially for food, we can then sit down and have more in-depth conversations about what else is going on in that home or that household, and how we can help that family or individual or couple move forward towards a self-sufficient life.
And you have a very successful model here in Jefferson County.
We work through, it's our Pathways to Self-Sufficiency program that helps people move. For many, they've lost their self-sufficiency for whatever reason: downsizing, outsourcing, loss of their income, or for many, they've never been self-sufficient. So we meet people where they are and try to help them reach that goal. But it starts with the basics. We cannot miss the basics. And food is such an important part of that whole equation.
What is something that our viewers should know about hunger in the suburbs?
That, you know, it's when you're looking around, you don't see bread lines or you don't see people waiting outside of soup kitchens. We're a mobile community. In other words, people are traveling in their cars, or they're on buses when they come to pantries or places like ours to get food support. So it doesn't always look like what people might think it is, but the need still is very there. It's almost like you have to put another set of lenses on to really see the issue, much like you have to look at homelessness with a different set of lenses. Hunger is no different. You have to put a different set of lenses on to really know what you're seeing.
And when you look at the types of meals that you're providing, health is also an important part of that, right? Eating healthy.
Absolutely. In our self-select grocery here, we predicate the 5-day supply orders on the USDA Choose My Plate. So we're focusing on fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. So they are healthy items that in many cases they would not be able, our folks would not be able to have access to them because of the sheer cost. But because we do food rescue and work with grocers like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Sprouts, we're able to have 80% of that 5-day supply food order be the fresh items that are really, when you look at nutrition, that's really what's most important.
And I think what this food pantry really symbolizes dignity, right?
Right.
Making sure people feel valued.
In our new facility here, we're able to have a volunteer shopper work with our guests, and they have a shopping list that's specified and based on the My Plate. So they go through the whole grocery and they select the items that they would want to feed themselves and their family. In other words, it cuts down on the amount of food that's wasted. Because if they like asparagus but not broccoli, or their kids like broccoli and not asparagus, it makes a whole lot more sense to have people selecting the items that they themselves would eat and have fun with food. And it's really a great experience when the volunteer takes the guests through on this experience, because at the end of their visit, they're two shoppers talking to each other about food. And it's a very powerful thing that talks to that dignity and respect.
So you just mentioned volunteers, and you have a ton of volunteers here.
Sure
Share
do.
with us a little bit about your volunteers and maybe how folks can get involved.
You bet. We have about 6,000 volunteers that help us throughout the course of the year. That includes people who have a weekly shift, that come in and serve in a variety of different areas, or they come in as part of a group or seasonal activities. But if anyone wants to learn more about the center and kick our tires and come in and see if this is a place they'd like to invest their talents and their riches as far as their skill set, we would love to have that. So they just need to go to our website, www.theactioncenterco.org, for a time of a tour, and we'll take it from there.
Well, Meg, thank you very much for everything that you do for our Lakewood community and for Jefferson County. It's been a pleasure to come out today.
Thank you for coming out to see what we do here.
All right. Well, it's been a great educational experience today, and it's also been one where we've got to see great needs in our community. There's a lot that we can do, and we're very blessed in the city of Lakewood, but some aren't as blessed as others. So please, together, let's work hard to make sure that people aren't hungry, and to make sure that our kids have what they need to succeed and to have a full belly when they go to school or when they come home from school or on the weekends. Thank you for tuning in to Spotlight on Lakewood.